Mike. Or not? Oh, he's muted.
He may have had to step away.
I
Probably
just
one of the.
realized that. No, I forgot I was fucking muted. Um, all right, so now that we've kind of gotten everything out of the way, we are doing something different tonight. We're doing a new little mini campaign. It's called D&D Night Cuisine Quests. And the idea of this is that all of our friends here in chat are going to be a group of adventurers who are going around to the different places in our main homebrew universe to put together a cookbook for the Queen. They must go to the different towns and find their most famous recipes. But, and then also make them and copy them down so that they can be put into the cookbook. And most likely so the people that made them can be screwed over financially.
Yep.
Alright.
Arch, you have a picture for your character?
It's just a dude in armor.
Fine, make it harder for me.
Except it's not a dude, it's a robot.
You cannot reveal this secret.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. So, the way the chat gets to actually play with us tonight.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Alright, yeah, the chat integration. So, because we have so many different places to go in this campaign, this will be multiple sessions, by the way. Because we have so many places to go, what I'm going to do is anybody who wants to put up bits can basically have a roll. And here's what I'm going to do is I was going to say to do a roll before, but I think this might be better. So whoever puts up the bits, pick a random number between 1 and 31, including 1 and 31. And that will determine where they go. Um, but we're not going to do that. Well, I mean, if you guys want to do the stuff now, that's fine. But we're not going to go quite into it just yet because we'll have our character introductions before then.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So I trust everybody has their. I'm pretty sure everybody has their sheets all good now. So how's about we do this? We're good. What?
I just said yep, yep.
Okay. So here's the way we're going to do this. You guys are going to introduce your characters. I don't know who wants to go first.
Not it.
I don't mind.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's
Right,
let the human go first there.
Listen, I don't like your tone. Okay, this is bullshit. So, my name is Human. Human eats food. And I am definitely a not robot. A human chef. I am not on this journey to learn more about organics so I can kill you.
Hugh
That's not
is
anything.
Hugh is just a 7 foot tall, very clearly looking like he's in a full suit of armor, but he's not in armor at all. He's wearing a chef's hat, like a chef's outfit on his skin, but it looks like a dude in like a knight armor wearing a chef outfit on the knight armor.
You need to see the prompt I put in and what I got. Give me a minute. I'll put it in I'll put it in chat for you guys to see.
Indeed.
So I literally put in a robot badly disguised in human armor wearing a chef's hat. Hold on, where'd the fucking save? I'm trying to get it. It's being a little bit weird. There we go. I don't know why, but you really like that burger. That's what it came
Okay.
up with. I like it.
Interesting. Oh, you put that in session rules.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Sorry.
I was wondering, like, why is
Yeah, I
that
was looking
there?
for it.
That is not part of our session rules yet, anyway.
Robot burger
Um,
is part of our
Unless
session
somebody
rules.
does something horrible
I
with
got a
those
better
items.
one.
Now it's my goal to make it part of our session rules. How can I make a robot burger part of that?
I mean, I could probably
By
make
using
one
it to commit a
consider.
war crime?
Challenge accepted.
Arch, you have to have a shield.
Why do I have to have a shield?
Look at the picture.
But I'm not like a paladin. I'm a sorcerer.
I don't know why it's doing this. But the burger one so far has been my favorite.
I like the burger one.
Alright, so that's the robot. So I guess who wants to go next? Purity Kim?
Not a
Okay.
robot.
Not robot. I'm a. How do you say it? I'm a Harrigan.
Aragon?
Harrigan artificer, and my specialty is cooking. I don't make things other than food. I use it all for food, for making food stuff.
That would also technically mean you could make food with magical properties.
Absolutely was going to be my goal.
She does not like to admit, but she invented the slap chop.
Kinky. Alright, Kim, you're up.
Well, hello, hello, hello. I am Candy Cane. I am
You're a
dressed in a
stripper.
wonderful maid outfit because my job is to serve. And I have my cute, adorable pet pig, Maple, and we're just here to have fun.
Oh god, I hate that I know the voice you're trying to do.
Alright, so our three compatriots here, our robot and his posse, have
Hey, robot.
sorry, our knight in shining armor and his posse. Um, so basically, what has happened is you guys are all sort of you're high-ranking members of the staff in the castle in like the kingdom of Calgar and the royal palace, and you're summoned by the queen one day into the throne room. She has you come up to her. Just look. I need to leave my mark on this empire in some way. You know, the previous queen did things, for orphans, and the one before that did other things for orphans that weren't as nice. So I'm thinking that maybe I can help the average person and put together a cookbook so that I can make myself seem important. And to prove that I can cook, even though I can't. What I want all of you to do is go around to all the towns in Old Calgar, the original Calgarian kingdom before we became the Empire. Go around and find out what they cook and how they cook it and what it tastes like and bring it back to me.
Alright, sounds easy enough. Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like
Yeah.
so much fun.
Oh, I
I'm
knew
a
the girls
perfect.
would have such a good time with this, and you too, sir. Can you see out of that?
Yes, I can see very well with my human eyes. And just a shot in the dark, you could also turn over the kingdom to, I don't know, robots? That would make a mark on history.
Sorry, what?
Don't listen to him. He doesn't know
Nothing,
what
just
he's saying.
idle chat.
Yes, yes, quite. Anyway, off with you.
Can I like lightly? Oh, I would. If I hit him, it's just gonna hurt me. Never mind. I'm gonna try to like hit him in the leg to stop him.
I was gonna say he's wearing armor, and technically under that he's made of metal. So
Yeah, no, I
Have
realized
fun.
it before I did it because you would have absolutely let me roll to get hurt.
I would have had you break your toe. Yeah. Um. All right. So now comes the moment of truth. Has anybody in the chat put forward? It is, by the way, to pick the next location. It is 300 bits.
So go for it, folks. I will keep an eye out for the bits. If you don't want to use bits, you can donate through Streamlabs, Ko-fi, Cash App. Those you're gonna have to let me know.
Yes, please.
What was that for?
I just
What
doing
the?
things.
Oh God, Arch, I have not been paying attention to what you've been doing in that box.
All
Shut
right,
up.
so oh no, what the hell? We've got 300 bits from Tenchi, 7.
7. Okay, let's see.
And here is a map, guys. We do actually have one.
This one's gonna give people some nightmares. All right. So here's what's gonna happen. All right, so here's what's gonna happen. You guys are going to the town of Norford, which is a little company, a little town. Hang on a second. I'm actually gonna bring it up on my map so I remember exactly where it is geographically wise.
What is the cuisine of choice in Norfolk?
That's what you
Rotten
have to
fish,
find out.
probably.
Well, I mean, is this like a regional thing? Are we heading to Calgar, Mexico? Like, do we know these things?
Are we getting tacos?
You know where these places exist on a map. Let me put it that way.
No, I think an important distinction, does Kalgar have a delineation line like how we have, you're going north for cheese curds, you're going south for tacos?
That's kind of on the east to west region with them and the Empire. The Calgar, like on the inside, is kind of just like a hodgepodge of randomness. Okay, yeah, okay, I remember where this is now. Okay. All right, so this is what's going to happen. So you guys are going to the town of Norford. So you're starting from the capital, you're going southeast, or southwest, I apologize. And you're going down into the areas that are still like thickly forested. You know, the areas that didn't get like torched by the forest corruption. They had built the wall and stuff and stopped before that. So this is like when the forests in the north. So you're riding through, you know, a pretty thick forest before you get to the town of Norford, which is a kind of like a small hamlet up in the hill, like out in the forest and the plains areas. You know, kind of traditional housing, that sort of like, you know, wood, very steep rooftops, that kind of thing. And people that are generally arranged to the old way of life, sort of agriculture, livestock, that sort of thing.
Fun.
It's a lovely place to vacation,
So how are we
but
getting there?
but it also smells. What are you doing?
How are we getting there?
I'm just gonna say you have horses. It's not that abnormal.
Okay.
I do have a horse.
Or you can walk if you want to go that way.
I was just wondering if we were in a carriage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do we have like a carriage or anything like that?
That is a very good question. I didn't really think about that when I was planning this.
We
How's about
it
this? Roll
should
me a
be
d20.
All right. I was gonna say not a carriage, but like a pop up restaurant type thing. What do you call it?
All right, that's 14. You have a pretty nice carriage with a stagecoach and a driver. His name is Jeeves.
Sweet.
Let's go, ma'am, to Norford. Yeah. And then you hear a little bit of a snap. You're
Of course.
oh, you don't fret for him. He likes it, don't you?
Well, then good.
This seems like a weird relationship, and I would not like to sit next to you, so I'm going in the cart.
You're
Suit
supposed
yourself.
to go.
I was gonna
I'm
say you climbs in and the whole cart or the carriage tilts sideways as he gets in because he's like 2 tons.
All right. So roll me. So I'll roll a ride check for Jeeves to see how quickly you get to Norford. It's not too far. That's a 4. All right. So at a point along the line, you do unfortunately blow out a wheel. You got to stop and replace it. But You get there in probably about 4 to 5 days.
Jesus, like that's so weird. The carriage is so much heavier than normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're all just kind of looking at the robot.
Indeed. All right, so you guys have arrived in the town of Norford, which is how I described it. It's this little like Hamlet-style town that's up in kind of like it was like a European town in like Holland or something. It's off in the fucking woods in the middle of goddamn nowhere, but it's like this little kind of gem of humanity where people are surviving on the old ways of things, growing crops and raising different kinds of livestock, pigs, cows, goats, whatever happens to be in the area, and then also they have of course, their hunting and gathering communities.
Oh well, this looks like a nice place.
Should we have a plan about our approach?
We should probably ask where the best restaurant is.
Well, what about the style of food? I mostly prefer desserts.
Oh, the person named Candy Cane likes desserts. What a surprise.
Yes. Let me guess. You only prefer carrots?
Ma'am, that is rabbitist. We eat more than just carrots. Carrots are actually bad for us.
Really?
Yeah, you really have to be careful because of the sugar content with carrots and rodents.
This is a fantasy world. You eat millions of carrots.
You fucking rabbitist.
You eat them so much that you shit orange.
You asshole.
I would just like to say I have seen her shit orange once.
Fuck you both.
Very curious as to why you've seen her dropping the
Yeah,
menu
no.
packet.
Does it smell like sherbet?
This is an excellent question. Moving on.
Why were you
Indeed.
watching me?
This is also an excellent question. We should really get into town.
And I turn and
No.
leave.
Get back here. I'm gonna hop after you.
I'm headed into
You're
town
probably
to
not going to be
find
able to
something.
stop him, considering I think, if I remember correctly, herringgowns are not that tall. All
No,
right,
I'm only
so
like
what
2
are you going to
feet.
do? You're just going to start walking up and
I'm headed for that farm that you mentioned, the livestock, because something says to me if we're in a peasant community, that's where we're gonna find food.
Okay. So here, all right. So you're gonna walk up to the livestock. So there's some people like tending like outside. They're feeding some of the animals and stuff like that. They're going through troughs. And there's sort of another guy watching them from the fence who looks like he's in standard like overall straw hat, that sort of thing.
I'm gonna just walk up to him as casually as possible.
Hello, fellow human. I am here to inquire about your food products.
Who the hell are you?
That is an excellent question, but I asked a question first. Please respond.
I'm sorry, but it's not every day that somebody in a full suit of armor comes up to me and asks me about snacky things.
That is correct. That is today.
Look, what do you want to know about food?
What is your signature dish here?
Signature dish? I got no idea what you're talking about.
I'm gonna come over. Hi. So we're helping the queen make a cookbook, and we'd like to feature like what your town's known for food wise.
Okay. Well, we only got one restaurant in town called the Cave, and so over on the other side of town, it's literally a cave.
Huh? Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, that's basically about it. Just for tourists and people that come here to go on hunts.
All right. Thank you.
Good, now get out of here. I had to go feed the pigs more pigs.
You're doing what now? Doesn't that seem
Well,
dangerous?
you feed the pigs more pigs so they taste more like pigs. You understand?
I mean, sound logic.
As you see that, there is a horde of pigs sitting there, and a man comes out with an entire tray full of bacon and just puts it down in front of them.
So fucking twisted.
They then proceed to devour the bacon.
Candy just lets out a squeal and covers her poor little Maple's eyes and quickly hurries away.
All right. So you guys are going to go across town to the restaurant called The Cave. Um, so you go across town and you come to this area where there's a bit of a cliff coming up, and there's an opening that looks like it's been sealed off with wood, and there's a door in the front. And there's kind of a crooked sign on the front of it that says The Cave. There also appears to be somebody at front standing in front of the door.
Who's gonna go? Oh, hey, Candy, your turn to talk to somebody.
Sorry, I'm having choking.
You alright?
Yeah. I took
Don't die on stream. I have to try to explain that if you do.
Oh, hello there, sir. How are you today?
Yo, if you ain't on the list, I can't let you in.
Oh, why is that?
Private.
But we were told that this is for tourists.
Yeah, tourists that are on the list. You on the list?
How would we get on the list?
If you on the list, then you know you on the list.
You're not being very polite.
What your name?
Candy?
Candy, Candy, Candy. Oh, you the entertainment.
Of course.
Oh, what do you do with the pig?
He's my partner.
You fuck it?
This seems like it has gotten out of hand.
Should we help her or should we just stand by and watch?
I kinda want to see where this is going.
Say me. Sam.
No, he's my team member. We work together.
Okay. I understand. I understand. You know, people do certain things for money. It's a work thing. I get it. Who are these other two? The one in the armored suit there and the bunny. You don't fuck the bunny too, do you?
Oh,
I very slowly. Does she fuck you?
No.
Okay, I am just making sure.
But if it
No,
gets us in, I'll say yes. Oh, I'm gonna hop over
No.
and cover her mouth. Yes, she does. We do some wild things. Can I try to roll
Oh
persuasion?
man, this gonna be a ballin' night, man. Get in, get your ass in there. Get your ass in there.
Let's go, guys.
He opens the door.
I was gonna have to do persuasion.
No, you were zany enough to convince him.
Fuck yeah.
All right, so he lets you inside, and the room is kind of like it's lit very low. It appears to be there's a stage on the far side of the room with several poles on it, and there is a woman in various states of undress on one of those poles. And then the rest of the area is lined with tables that are set up with candles and stuff, and there's a bar in the background. The place is mostly full.
Of course, it's a strip joint.
she's pretty.
And you're blonde.
No, I'm a redhead.
Oh, dear God. I guess we should try the food.
Do you think they serve wings?
Yeah, no, pretty good bet that they serve wings and probably a lot of bacon.
So, as you guys are kind of talking by the door, a gnome comes up to you and he says, "Here, how's it going? You guys want to sit down and have some food? Watch some of our ladies swing glittery things in your face?
Yes, please.
We got one that's got 3 boobs.
Hot.
That hurt.
Right this way." All right, he sits you down at a table, or he brings you to an open table and sits all 3 of you down. Arch, I want you to roll a d20. This is a luck check. That
That's
is not
about
good
right.
luck. As soon as you sit down in the chair, it immediately breaks under the weight of your body and you fall on the ground.
You okay down there?
Hi! Are you okay, sir?
I think your chairs are not able to handle a full-bodied woman like myself.
Hang on a second, I'll get you to the chair. Hang on. He comes back with what looks like a much sturdier chair. Please roll me another d20.
Oh God.
Oh, come on, low numbers.
Nope.
God damn it.
Nat 20. Alright, that one is apparently perfect. After he has gotten you seated and cleaned up the remains of the chair that you smushed, he hands each of you a menu. And then says, see what you guys want to eat.
You broke up.
I'll be back in a minute to see what you guys want to eat.
Alrighty.
So he has handed you all a menu, so you can look through that menu if you want. This will be a spot check.
Spot check.
Spark check.
You've been waiting to make that joke.
No, actually, that just came to me because I'm baked off my ass.
As right you should be.
Yes. Oh, well, of course, the machine man has the great eyesight.
My
And
mother
Kim,
was
you
a
can roll as well if
Xerox.
you'd like.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
a
see
very nice one.
do it.
Well, you can either manually add the numbers or you can type it into the chat. Do you remember how to, if you just want to roll the dice, you can just click it and drag it into the box and then let it go.
Okay.
I am very good at reading because my mother was a Xerox.
Are you even going to be able to eat the food?
That is an excellent question. Moving on.
Mine's a
Kit,
13.
that's a 13. Okay, so Arch is the one that's going to notice this. So, Arch, most of the menu seems relatively tame. Although there is something that you're looking at that you see in the steak section that has caught your eye that not a lot of places have. Deep fried owlbear steak.
I think I might have identified what the cuisine here is, but it makes me kind of want to punch a baby.
What is it? I'm gonna look and then I'm gonna notice it and go, you can eat those things?
Mine
Apparently.
assumes you can eat anything if you try hard enough.
See? And I start putting a spoon in her mouth to try and get her to eat it.
I'm going to push you away. We haven't even
Oh,
ordered, so the spoon's just empty. You ass.
Yes, you eat it. Well, more for me.
And I eat the spoon.
Just gonna watch.
Okay, you lift up the base of the thing on the front of your helmet and you shove the spoon in there. And then you immediately afterwards you hear what sounds like kind of a metallic clinging noise as whatever is inside of you grinds the metal down into a fine dust to be processed through whatever internal organs you have, and then it stops.
It's just the loudest blender noise.
It literally sounds like there's a food processor sitting there.
I'm just gonna look at him and go, you're not really blending in that well.
He leans really close.
I do not know what you are talking about. I am a human.
I helped build you. Can I bullshit to get him to believe it?
I don't know. Roll bluff.
Fuck yeah. Let's see, what is my bluff? Oh, hell yeah!
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
23.
All right. Arch, also roll bluff. Okay, or actually, can you beat that?
I would be able to, but
Normally, but no. All right, you believe that she was partially responsible for your creation.
You No, this is impossible.
You know it's true.
You know that my mother was a Xerox.
Yeah.
Who was my father?
Do you really want to know?
No, not really. I want the food.
Yeah, same. I want to try that steak.
All right, so as you guys are ending this very odd conversation, the gnome comes back, and he says,
Apparently nothing, because we didn't catch anything on your mic.
"All right, are you ready to order?"
Yes. I think we're each going to have. We're each going to try this owl bear steak.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that should go well. That's our house special. That's also served with a side of either a baked potato, or a baked screaming potato.
Ooh, I'll try the baked screaming potato.
Oh, that's very, very good. Just to let you know, sometimes in certain people it can cause nightmares.
I will take 2.
Two? Okay, so we'll add that onto your meal, and then we'll have another one on the side. Very good. And after a few moments of, and Kim, what are you going to have? The same thing?
No, she looks a little panicked. And her eyes start darting around, and she's like, "Actually, I'll pass on the owl bear, and I'll just And she points at a random dessert.
Coward.
Okay, I'm going to roll to see how desserty whatever it is you're pointing at is. Fairly desserty. All right. You point at an ornate piece of cake somebody else appears to be shoving in their mouth, and he looks at you he's like, "Well, you want that? Okay. Yeah, we can do that up. One slice of super cake,
Thank you.
and I'll be right back." So so after he takes down your order, he leaves. And I'm going to roll to see how long it takes him to actually prepare your food and bring it back to you. Ooh, that's a 2. All right, so you're waiting there for a good long while. There's a few strippers that go through on the dance pole before you get your food. But it does come to you hot. So 2 of you got the steak with screaming potatoes, and the third one, and Kim got the super cake. So you guys can now try your food if you want. I will allow you to roll a. It would basically be the equivalency of a perception check. So I'm just going to say it's going to be a raw constitution save? No, raw intelligence because you're trying to understand what you're eating.
Can I cast Identify on it?
Sure. And that just immediately tells you what it is?
If I remember correctly, it gives me all. Let me double check though.
I couldn't remember if that was for that or for spells.
Son of a bitch.
That's for spells. I mean, you can modify it for this, can't we?
It only works on magical effects.
Fuck.
Yeah. That's what
Oh,
I
well.
figured.
Praise.
Run it, bitch.
Alright, so you're trying to. Well, I don't know how. Well, yeah, this would probably work the same way. Alright, so, alright, Arch, you can tell that it's meat that has been seasoned and deep fried.
Yes, this is some kind of thing that you can eat.
However, you don't know what it's seasoned with.
It tastes like spices of some kind.
Oh, I got a shit roll.
Yeah. Kim, what's added on to that?
What do I add?
You would be adding your intelligence modifier.
Then that's just a 10.
Okay,
I'll be right back. I need to tinkle.
go for it. Let the oil out.
Can I use a praise?
Actually, yeah, that might be useful.
That kind of just determines how much the meal should cost, not necessarily what it's made up of.
Okay.
Oh, can I use my knowledge in cooking?
Try it. That's basically the equivalency of an intelligence save, but with more stuff. So
Yeah, it was almost a 17. Damn it.
it was almost a 17, but it wasn't. So yes. So like I said, the only thing that you're able to really understand is that it is a piece of steak that tastes interestingly like greasy, awesome chicken, but having almost the consistency of beef. It has been deep fried, and it has had some kind of seasoning added to it, something with a little bit of a spice to it.
When the gnome comes back, I'm going to ask him for the recipe.
Indeed. I'll wait until Arch comes back
Yeah.
from his tinkle.
I'm also looking to see if there's anything I can use to figure it out more. No, I got nothing.
He
I'm
just so
just
happens
trying
to
the
have
cake.
returned.
Alright, Arch is here. Alright, so Arch, you technically roll well, you tied for the highest, I should say, with Purity. But basically the only things that you can tell are that it is a piece of beef textured meat that tastes like chicken that has been breaded and deep fried. So it's possible that it's owlbear. But it's also been seasoned with something, and you can't quite tell what that is.
We should
Mainly
try to
because
get
you
the
can't
recipe.
taste.
Little rabbit person, I think this would be a good idea to try and get the recipe from these people, but how do you think we should do that?
Well, we could ask them, or we could sneak in the kitchen.
How adverse are
both.
you to torture?
Not very, actually.
Okay, we should have fun.
And I
Let's head in the
stand up.
kitchen. Oh no.
Okay, you stand up.
Hey, big robot. I mean, big human.
My name is just Hugh.
Hugh, can I ride on your shoulder?
I think this would be a bad idea only because I am going to be invisible for a moment, and it is going to be very strange to have a rabbit floating.
You can go invisible?
I cast invisibility on myself.
Motherfucker.
Okay, you have
I
now
should've
become
grabbed-
invisible.
I should have grabbed C invisibility. Fuck.
He just fucking fades out like the predator and starts. I want to be so clear. You can hear the stomps of him heading towards the kitchen.
Oh, I do. I have C invisibility. I just picture him doing
Jesus.
that peace sign and then vanishing.
Like the fucking meme.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! All right,
What?
so you're not even gonna try and move silently. You're just gonna be invisible and walk in there.
No, he thinks he's moving silently. It makes it funnier.
No, what I'm saying, he's not gonna roll.
I will roll my move silently if
Roll
you'd
your
like me
move
to.
silently, and we'll see how hard this goes.
It is at a. Oh my god.
Okay. No, you rolled a 19, so you're able to sneak into the kitchen.
Just mid stride, he pulls out an oil can.
Okay.
No more noise. This is much better.
I'm gonna.
Okay, so you're in the kitchen. So you see some of the chefs. They're working on some various meals. There's really 3 of them in the room. Roll me a listen check.
Can I follow after him?
I mean, if you want to, but you're gonna have to sneak in there.
Yeah, let me see. Where's my sneak?
You hear like a lot of pots and pans and the normal sounds of a kitchen, and there's something kind of faint in the background, but you can't really make it out.
I'm gonna start looking for
Yes, I
any
followed.
kind of book.
All right, hang on a second. All right, so Purity, you also snuck in. So you're in the same general area as Arch, although again, well, you have the magical ability, so you can see him.
Yep.
So then, Arch, sorry, what were you gonna do?
I was gonna look around for any kind of book or notation, especially around the chefs.
Okay, roll me a spot. Roll me a a spot check. Also, Kim, are you gonna do anything? Or are you just gonna sit at the table by yourself and eat cake?
She's enjoying the cake and waiting for the gnome to come back so she can ask him some questions.
I'm gonna roll a d20 actually. By the way, I'll get to your roll in a second, Arch.
I figured you were going to be the sane one in this group.
The cake is not very good.
Aww.
All right. So, Arch, that was a 21. So you see that there
I have
is
an idea.
a scroll that's been opened up near one of the cook surfaces, and you notice that it says owlbear steak recipe on it.
I'm sorry. I just really have to say, like, she clearly bites into it and realizes this is a frozen Marie Calendar fucking cake.
I have an idea, Kim. Check your DMs.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and scoop that book as quietly as I can.
Okay. Do you want me to also read out to you what's on it?
You said it mentioned the
It mentions the recipe, but what you're really looking for necessarily is just the recipe, the preparation, and the ingredients, essentially. Because you want to be able to duplicate it. So that's what's on there. I just wanted to know if you wanted to read it before you picked it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give
Okay.
it a cursory look over.
A cut of owlbear steak from the rump region, breaded and seasoned. Breadcrumbs, pepper, devil shavings, paprika, and salt. And then deep fried in owlbear fat. You
Okay.
also you also notice that there are some very large lard cubes that are sitting kind of in the corner of the kitchen that they use to fry everything. They use owlbear fat for everything.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna um snake this recipe thing and tuck it
Right.
away as best I can.
Okay, you do that, but at the same time, I will say that all of those ingredients you've heard of, except for devil shavings. You don't really know what that is.
As soon as I pocket the recipe, I'm gonna start looking around the kitchen to see if I can find any kind of like spice racks or if I can see them like if I have
Okay,
the recipe notes here, I can kind of see where they are in the cooking process. I want to see if I can
okay,
see them add the devil shavings.
okay. So here, all right. So here's what we'll do with that. So Purity, do you want to do anything before he continues with this?
Is there any more cookbooks around that I can just nab?
You'd have to do well. You can't see onto the countertops because you're 2 feet tall.
Damn. Sure.
So you can see if one dropped on the floor, but I doubt that.
Can I hide and keep an eye in case he needs help?
That just means you just stay where you are and nothing would happen.
Yeah, basically. I just want to make
Okay.
sure he doesn't do something to fuck up.
Okay. All right. So
Or that
Arch.
if anyone's going to bump into him, I'm going to try to intervene.
Okay. Arch. So here's what I'm going to do. But roll me another listen check.
Oh dear. It is the exact
That's
same.
better this. That's a little bit better this time. Actually, I think it's the exact same as the one you had before, but we're going to say it's a little better. Um, you hear what sounds like there's a back room in the kitchen. Presumably leads into maybe like a storage area or something like that. But there's a door that leads out further into the back area of the kitchen, and there's definitely some loud noises coming from there, and you can't really 100% tell the context, but they are relatively loud.
I am suddenly very interested, so I am going to go investigate.
Oh, should I? Will I be able to hear it too?
Roll me a listen check.
Should I get a plus, an additional plus because of my ears?
Yeah, sure.
Racist.
Give it an additional +2 or something.
Okay. Okay. Bullshit.
Well, you still got a 14, which is higher than what he got, so I'll say that you kind of hear the same thing that he does. There's a noise that's coming from that back room, but you can't discern what they are, but they're definitely loud enough for you to hear them.
So I'm gonna go follow too.
Alright, so that's going to be moved silently from you. He doesn't necessarily have to do that as much because he's invisible.
Alright. Silently.
Invisible.
Invisible. Yeah.
Alright, you're able to move silently with him, so you guys are both going to enter the back room at roughly the same time. So the door is open a crack. Well, not a crack, but a little bit. Probably maybe like, 4 or 5 inches. So you just kind of gently push the door open and enter into the back room. And as you enter into the back room, you see one of the chefs. He appears to have a cheese grater. And there is a devil with wings that is hogtied with his pants pulled down. And he is having his ass cheese grated into a jar.
This is a concern.
This is a kink.
He is also gagged, by the way, just so he can't like actually massively scream out. But you can definitely hear a lot of muffled screaming.
Is there anywhere where they're like storing the shavings?
Yeah, they appear to be putting them in jars, and then those jars are being put up on shelves around the room. Apparently, this is a storage area, but they also use it for this other purpose.
Ooh, I could try to steal one.
Okay.
Let's see.
You're going to steal one of the jars? Okay. So yeah, that'll be a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Of course, the one fucking thing I didn't put anything in. Yee.
And that's just straight.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll for the guy in the room cheese grating the devil's ass and see if he notices you. All right, you rolled an 8. He does not notice you. So you're able to grab a jar of it. It's basically like instead of being like fleshy bits like you would expect if somebody was having their ass cheese grated. Instead, it like cheese grades off into like almost this powdery stuff. Like as soon as their flesh comes off, it kind of just turns into this sort of ashy substance with a red tinge to it. It's almost like red sand inside of the jar.
All right. I'm going to scamper away from the room.
Okay, you move silently again to get out of there and get back to your table. I'll say it's just one roll to get through everything. Arch, I'll say the same thing for you, unless you want to do anything else in here.
I want to be away from this kink shit as much as possible because I do not want to think about how I ate ass shavings.
Move, roll a, fuck, man. Roll a move silently check.
What did I do?
Yo, are you sneaking out of there, or are you just gonna stay there and watch?
I mean, with that kind of roll, I probably should have watched.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
apparently he's gonna stay there and watch.
So here's what I'm gonna say happens. So I'm gonna roll a d20 for this to see how horrible this is.
Watch him get a 20.
That is a 7. That's not amazing. Okay, so as you walk through the kitchen, because you're not really because you're still a clunky robot thing in armor, you accidentally hit one of the frying pan handles that's sticking out from the stove. And unfortunately, as soon as you do that, it splashes all over another chef's, his midsection, his legs, his groin, and he immediately begins screaming, clutching his nether region.
I'm gonna grab that same pan and I'm gonna try and hit him in the head with it to shut him up.
Okay, you are invisible. I want you to understand
Doesn't
this.
stop him.
Oh, yeah, I'm still invisible. Then that's I'm not as upset. Okay, I'm gonna start sneaking away.
All right, so
Very-
you're gonna keep going as they kind of turn to everybody else. Kind of turns their attention to him. So you're both able to sneak out of there and get back to the table as Kim finishes her crappy piece of cake.
So how was the cake?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, how was the cake?
Oh, it's nasty. It tastes like butt.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of,
Yeah, no.
interesting story. Did you know that we ate butt?
Pardon?
Yeah, we did.
Who serves butt?
I'm just gonna
Apparently, these
quietly.
guys.
Yeah, I was gonna quietly say this entire place.
I should have known they were barbaric when they serve pig to pig.
That's the part that
So
clued you in.
I'm gonna pull out the recipe and I'm like,
I've got this. Should we just set fire to this place and leave?
Yes.
Actually, okay with that.
Okay, hang on, hang on. You're gonna burn the restaurant down on the way out.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what? How are you going to accomplish this? Is the better question.
that was so fast.
Well, I'm fine with this. I have
Well, anyone who makes cake this bad deserves to be burned alive.
I have firebolt.
All right. So you're just gonna aim a random firebolt and run the fuck out of the place.
We should probably leave before we do this.
Cave, so caves don't burn exactly really easily. I think you need an accelerant.
I can make grease.
That would work.
Alrighty. Someone hold me up so I can aim.
I pick her up.
Alright,
Okay.
I'm gonna cast grease and just aim everywhere.
Okay.
Andy picks up her pig.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right. Roll me a d20 to see how much grease you spread all over this place.
Oh, that was a shit roll.
Roll again. And this is going to be with your intelligence modifier, by the way.
Oh, with my intelligence modifier, so that would be plus 3.
All right, so that's a 16. So you spray the inside of the walls of this place, all the wood paneling, and all over the stripper stage, which she's already covered in various forms of like lubricating oil and stuff like that. So you're not really doing too much to her. But everything else, yeah, you've covered it in grease pretty thoroughly. They're actually the gnome you talked to before, and several other people are making their way over to you from the other side of the room now because they see what you're doing.
It's not gonna stop me. Alright, I'm gonna cast firebolt.
Okay.
I'm gonna aim at the grease. Do I have to roll anything?
Roll damage.
Alright, crap.
This will determine how horrible it gets.
Do it just a straight roll or.
It's damage, whatever the damage for
Yeah, I'm
firebolt
looking right
is.
now. 1d10, okay.
All right, that's 7.
Is he gonna go
All right,
pretty
so you
well?
aim it right at the stripper stage and light that
Oh
on
no,
fire.
I'm sorry.
and
It's 2. It's 2d because I'm level 5, so it's 2d. It's 2d10. Sorry.
All right, roll another one
Yeah, they're fucked.
then. Okay. So here's what happens. After you spew grease all over everything, you use your firebolt attack, and the firebolt hits the stage and immediately lights it ablaze. As this happens, the stripper is then also immediately lit on fire, and several of the patrons. So we're gonna roll to see how bad this gets from here. Oh, it's gonna get real bad. Okay. So those people and the stripper who unfortunately are all on fire are now running around and lighting other things on fire. You may want to get out of there now if you haven't already. Kim, I know, already took her special pig and ran.
Let's go.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, the other thing too, you're gonna have to run through the gnome and the other people.
Oh boy. It would be a darn shame if I have a 7-foot robot man.
I
Don't you dare drop my ass. Don't you dare drop my ass!
So here's the thing.
I will find a way to get vengeance on you.
But I'm gonna do you a favor.
I don't trust you. What are you going to do? At least
I
throw me
do.
out of the building, damn it!
So how tall are you exactly?
I'm like 2 foot.
How much do you weigh?
I actually don't know how much. Not very much. Why? Are you gonna use me? Are you gonna throw me at them?
So Mike, what would I have to do to throw her and cast a spell at the same time?
You're a rope. What's your strength?
Oh, strength of 14.
Okay. What I'm going to have you do is this. You're going to do a strength check for throwing her, and then you're going to do an intelligence check for casting the spell.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, the strength check doesn't work, so you kind of just like pick her up, and the thing is, like, because of all the grease, she's just kind of gotten greasy herself. So as you try to reach back to throw her, it's literally like holding a greased pig, and she just kind of slips out of your hand and falls on the ground.
Fuck!
And then after that, when you're casting the spell, what spell are you casting?
Enlarge person.
On her?
Yeah.
Okay,
Why?
the spell will work, however, so you now have an enlarged bunny. I don't remember how large that actually makes her.
It doubles her size and multiplies her weight by 8.
Okay.
So now I'm just 4 foot?
You're a 4 foot tall bunny that weighs. How much did you weigh before?
Let me look how much Harrigan weigh.
I was gonna say probably 80 pounds.
Depending on our height, we can weigh anywhere from 100 to 150. So 80. I'll say with 80.
Okay. That means you weigh 800. That means you weigh 560 pounds now.
What the fuck?
You
Actually, no. No. You weigh 640.
Yeah, you weigh like a fucking full linebacker.
Yep. So that's a
Fuck
couple
it, I'm
full
getting out of
linebackers.
here. I'm just gonna charge
Okay.
out of here then.
Okay. Roll me a strength check.
Would that
Rabbit
multiply my
run.
strength?
I'm gonna say for your strength, in addition to whatever you already have now, you're gonna get an additional +3.
Okay. Thank you. We love using fantasy grounds to do horrible things. 12.
All right. I'll roll for them. I landed on the side. That didn't
Damn.
know. Okay. They rolled a 13. So as you try and run through them, you basically you steamroll the gnome. Like he's not stopping you. But the other 3 people that are behind him then proceed to grab you and hold you down in place.
I am I am covered in grease. Would that help me at all with escaping?
Yes, I will say that. That will help you with escaping. So what you're gonna do is you'll roll me a roll me a jump check.
Oh, fuck yeah. 6. Hell yeah. Yes, 26.
Okay. So you leap up with these 3 people grabbing onto you, and they just fall all over the restaurant and smash into tables and shit, and then you immediately go for the door with the other 2 behind you.
Ha.
There
Do I
is still
do-
the bouncer outside.
Can I roll again? Oh, that's not gonna work if I try to pile through him.
You can if you want. It'll be a tumble check.
Okay, a tumble check. Okay.
One of the rare opportunities I ever get to
I
ask
was gonna
somebody to
say
do a
the one
tumble
time
check.
I don't put anything in that.
Nobody puts anything in tumble. Unless you build your entire thing around a rhino build.
Fuck yeah, no, I'm not. Unless I get my dex.
No.
There's no plus modifier to that. Although wait,
All right,
helping's
so
supposed to have a dex modifier.
what
Can
happened?
I do something?
Go for it, please. Save my ass.
I'd like to summon a monster.
Okay, what do you want to summon?
I
Oh.
actually was gonna go for the biggest thing it let me summon.
Okay, which is what?
I don't know. I don't have the list.
The biggest thing that you can summon, is it summon monster 1 or higher?
1.
Oh, okay, so it's +5 for dex.
At
for
level
hair.
5, I couldn't imagine it's more than 2.
The biggest thing that you can summon is a very large octopus.
Yes.
That's what I summoned.
Okay, I had a dex
Okay.
modifier of 5.
You have summoned a large octopus. It flops on the ground in front of you and does its little octopus thing.
Yeah, that's about right for how things are going right now.
You also get the feeling that the octopus is pissed because it's not in water anymore.
I just yelled, "That's octopus for fuck you."
I think she speaks octopus.
It's considered beast speak. Can it do anything to grab them? Well, octopus can be out of
You
water.
can throw it at him.
Throw it at them, for God's sake. Save my ass. Save my bunny butt.
Are you saying I could throw the octopus?
You were the pig.
Well, I mean, feasibly, you could throw anything.
I thought you said it was a giant octopus. There's no way I could throw a giant octopus.
No, not giant. I said a large octopus.
It's just a very big octopus.
It's just a big octopus.
You know, they can go outside of water, so, I mean, they're kind of cool with it.
Well, the whole point was I was launching it at the door where the guy is.
Oh, for the love of God. Yeah, no, do it. I want to see it hit him in the face.
All right, so here's what's going to have to happen for this. We're going to have a team effort. Hugh is going to throw it. Kim is casting the spell to produce it, and Purity, you're going to have to open the door so it hits the bouncer.
Okay.
This will all have to be happening in unison. So Arch, I'm going to have you roll a strength check. Kim has already cast the spell, so your part's done.
This was a bad idea.
Okay, as soon as you pick up the octopus, it immediately latches onto you and begins to like grab around your body.
I start panicking and pulling at it. Ah!
Okay.
All right, well you're gonna have to beat grapple checks with it and it gets a +8 to grapple.
Oh, this is terrible.
That is a 27.
Jesus Christ.
Can you beat that or no?
Hi.
No. Not
Oh,
even
okay.
close.
Well, he's staying attached then.
I'm gonna cast my lullaby.
On the octopus?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Have a roll.
Does he need to
If
pass
she
any
crit
rolls for
fails.
that?
Yeah, 1 second, see what the roll is. For some reason, my character sheet won't open back up. Literally won't open.
Meanwhile, can I try to get the door open during this very intelligent moment?
Well, you can open the door. The problem was you were trying to barrel through it when it's a door that opens inwardly.
I never said I was a smart rabbit.
Oh, it just makes the subject drowsy and a
Okay.
-5 on spot and -5 on listen.
Okay, I mean, making it drowsy could cause it to let go. So so what I'll say is this: he's gonna have to make a roll. If he rolls, because he's still an octopus, I'll say if he rolls below a 10, he will be drowsy enough to be removed.
Can I work with him and use Mage Hand?
Oh, I don't think you're gonna beat that. It's a 16. So here's what I'll have happen. Arch, you have to roll me a strength check. You have to beat a 16.
I'm gonna go quiet Kiwi for a moment. Give me a second.
This will not end well.
Yes, considering every time I've had you do a strength check, it's been a horrible roll.
Stop it, you two. Quiet.
And we can continue that because you didn't beat the 16. So, that thing is staying stuck on you.
I'm just panicking and trying to push it off.
Yeah, I know that it ain't gonna happen.
Entirely futile.
It is stuck to you at this point. Unless it wants to let go, or it is de-summoned, then it will not disconnect from you.
I'm back.
I have seen too much hentai to know where this is going. Get
This-
it off.
Jeez, this is what I'm coming back to?
Yes, the
Yes.
octopus.
Well, my character is not very smart, so
We noticed.
she's gonna try and use Mage Hand to pull it off.
Okay. You're gonna have to do a strength check again, and you're gonna have to roll above a 16.
Me?
Yes, because you're casting the mage hand, so
Okay.
Go lay down until it's time for me to walk you, bud.
what's your strength modifier?
Try to find it. My sheet keeps closing.
This game really doesn't like you.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I have a 0 modifiers.
Okay, yeah, no, so that thing doesn't help. That octopus is still on there. And by the way, because you guys have taken so long with this, it is the other guys that you blew around are starting to get up.
Can I just try to open the door?
You could have opened the door at any point in time.
Then I've already opened the door and I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. Because
Okay,
I'm imagining they're all watching these two.
Okay, as you're leaving the restaurant, the bouncer turns around because of the way that the door was opened and sees you sitting there. He also sees that there appears to be a rather large fire in the back of the room and a man in armor wrestling with an octopus.
I'm just gonna go now.
What? Hey, no, what did you do? What's going on here? Why is there a fire?
Blame the octopus. He got a little too kinky.
Better get that octopus and him out of here then.
Yeah, you might want to go solve that problem.
He's your boy. You get his ass and you get him out of here, otherwise I'm gonna stomp you like a rabbit pie.
Do I look like I'm strong enough to move something that's 7 foot?
He's gonna stomp on you now.
Oh, I'm covered in grease. Can I use it to avoid? To do a dodge?
That would be if you were trying to get out of something. You're not.
I'm trying to dodge him. How do I dodge it? Oh, can I use diplomacy to try to talk my way out of this?
Yes.
Fuck yes. Watch I get a nat 1. Almost did. 13.
Alright, let's roll for this guy.
Damn
Yeah,
it!
he rolled higher than you. Alright, yeah, no, he wants nothing to do with that. He's gonna stomp on you because he thinks you just lit this place on fire.
He's not wrong.
Alright, that's an 18. That's also going to be plus his attack modifier, which is a +3, so that's 21. That will hit. That's going to be 2d10 worth of damage. 16 damage. Yeah, so he stomps on your bunny body, and you kind of hear like a meep come out. Like,
So 16 out of there.
you better stay right there until we get the guards over here. You don't just light places on fire. What's wrong with you?
I didn't do
Not-
shit. I'm just a rabbit.
You
Can I
can't.
cast charm
No rabbits
person?
can't talk.
Rabbitist.
Can I cast
All
charm
right.
person? Because I heard the meep.
Please do.
Yes, you can cast charm person.
It doesn't say there's a roll. It just says make one person your friend.
Usually what I'll do is I'll give them a willpower roll, and it's usually a DC 15, so they'd have to beat a 15 in order to not be charmed. So I'll roll this. He did not beat a 15, so he is immediately charmed. So what do you want him? I usually give this as an option for people, and it's worked out good and bad in certain circumstances. So normally with charm person, you're charming something else to yourself. I have allowed people to use charm person where they can charm a thing to another thing.
Oh.
Make him stop
So you
trying
have
to
that
hurt
option.
Charm to the
I'm gonna make
octopus.
him. I'm gonna make him in love with the fire.
I need I need you to roll. Actually, no, he failed that roll. So okay, he's in love with the fire. So this is exactly what happens. So as you cast that, and as he's looking down at Purity's character still under his foot, he looks up at the flames again, but this time they dance in front of him like a ballet of flame and orange. And he's so mesmerized, and he walks into the facility almost like he's in a daze, and begins walking up to the stripper pole that has been lit ablaze. He then proceeds to get on the stripper pole and do a stripper dance in the fire. It slowly burns him up, but he doesn't care. He's dying doing what he loves.
He's really good. Now getting the fuck out of Dodge.
He dies. Alright. Arch, I need you to roll another strength check to try and rip the octopus off. Okay. Good. You rolled a 16. Alright, that is enough. So you are finally able to rip the octopus off of your body.
I just throw it at the ground and then do a people's elbow.
Alright, what? Hang on a second. I need to see what this
Out of
roll would
nowhere,
be
you
for
just
this.
hear the wrestling crowd cheering. We don't even know where the fuck they're coming from. They're just there. We can't see them. We just hear it all, the music and shit.
Alright, I'm gonna say that this is just gonna be a general attack roll, but I'll say it's an attack of opportunity, so they get an additional +2 since you just threw it on the ground. So roll me for attack, Arch. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna do the first one.
But you'd still have the crit confirm on.
I never turned that on.
Yeah, it does it automatically for some reason.
Bastards. Alright, well, either way, you rolled a nat 20. So, yeah. So here's what I'm gonna have happen.
Can we
Is
get Arch to smell? Can we say in the robot voice, can you smell what I'm cooking or something like that?
go for it.
Can you smell what I am cooking?
Alright, you're gonna do the servo slam on his side after you toss him on the ground, I'm gonna say the damage for that is gonna be 3d10, because you're heavy.
You make you humble.
Alright, that's an 11, but it's an octopus, so here's what happens. So you do the people's elbow, you rise into the air, you bring the elbow down on the octopus, and after a moment of squishiness, you kind of see its little eyes start to glaze over white, and it's very clear that you have killed the octopus. It then
Calamari is served.
despawns back to its own dimension. The other people that you mowed over before, by the way, are completely back to their feet now and ready to go after you if you do not leave.
Yeah, I'm heading out.
Alright. So here's what's going to happen. You guys manage to run out of the place not long after it burns down. but you did escape with the recipe, and you know exactly how to make it, and you also were able to get your hands on the secret ingredient.
Job well
Uh,
done.
so yeah, so that was your first recipe, which is deep fried owlbear steak. And remember, you have to have fresh devil shavings, at least freshly preserved devil shavings. You need to be able to cheese grate a devil's butt.
Which I
Now,
have currently.
yes, exactly. Which now, you guys are done from that, and you're probably no longer welcome in Norford anymore. You can we can do the roulette wheel of where the fuck you're gonna go next. So if anybody wants to kick in 300 bits, go for it, and pick a number between 1 and 30.
Do you mind if I quickly walk the pups while they're doing that? I am back. Let me get my headphones on. Sorry about that, folks. Glad you guys are enjoying tonight's D&D insanity. We never do anything normal. So, give some bits, give some donos, and pick where we go next by picking a number 1 to 31.
1 to 30.
Sorry, 1 to 30.
Indeed.
You can donate however you feel most comfortable. Checking right now the different sites. If not, we'll go ahead once everyone's back and just pick a place. But again, 300 bits or $5, however you feel it. Even you guys on YouTube or on Kick.
But aren't you on Twitch?
Don't be mean to Twitch, we need them. I'm sorry if you guys hear Kiwi, he's fighting with Jack. Kiwi! Yeah, he just learned the hard way. I just heard that one.
Gotta be
I
careful.
didn't realize I got a dex modifier as a bunny.
Yes, bunnies.
23 is the next number.
23. Okay, this will be interesting. Ooh, this is a fun one. Okay, so this time you guys are going to the city of Greyforge, which I don't think nobody here was in season 1, so you guys wouldn't remember Greyforge. Greyforge is a dwarven smithing and mining town. It's built at the base of the Grey Mountains. And essentially, this place basically has a mostly dwarven population. It's a relatively large city. It's pretty much very industrious for the most part. And this was also the point in season 1 when Cham got into a bar fight and decapitated a bunch of dwarves and then put their heads in a pyramid on a table because the bartender didn't like him beating up women in the bar. The woman in question was a character being played by Vash, but it was still a woman.
So I heard we are going to a place where they celebrate a man who punched a bunch of women. I think this will be very interesting for you.
He is not celebrated. That is an unsolved crime as far as
As far as
the
we
city is
heard it,
concerned.
they do celebrate it. That's fine. It's a very weird holiday, but you know.
I know this will not make sense, but I have heard that Greyforge definitely went a lot more Alabama once everything went downhill.
What is Alabama?
See, that's what I mean. It does not make sense.
Isn't that a dessert?
Deep fried Alabama in my mind.
No, it's baked Alabama, right?
Everything can be deep fried. All right, so I'm gonna roll to see how long it takes Jeeves and your wagon to get there, or your carriage. All right, he makes a lot better time. So he rolled a 15, so you're making a lot better time there. It's still a pretty decent ways away from where you were, so it's going to take you about a week and a half to get there.
We might want to look at getting better suspension for this thing.
No, you did fine this time.
Oh, I'm just saying for the future.
True. It's up to you if you want to try upgrading your wagon at some point with whatever gold you seem to have.
That might be a good idea.
All right, so you've entered the city of Greyforge again. Mostly dwarves, very blue collar for the most part. The site of many, many historical events in the homebrew universe. So you can decide what you want to do from here and see how you can find recipes. It is a fairly large city, so
Maybe they can help us upgrade the wagon.
That might be a good idea. Then we won't have to worry about anything happening because of our very large human.
Could I just say that there should be a statue of Cham's character punching a woman in relief, and it's just unknown assailant on this spot.
It was an unsolved crime. You know what? Here's what I'll give you on that is there is a statue of that happening. There's a statue of Guile, Cham's character, punching lesbian Vash's character in the face. And this is and there is a plaque on the front of the statue, and the plaque reads, "In commemoration of the events that took place." In commemoration of the great hero Guile, he asked that this moment be remembered in this specific city for no reason in particular.
Right next to a wanted sign with the Flynn Rider nose, and it's also him.
Yes.
Except no, because he would have been long dead by this. We're talking like we're right up on the crest of season 3. That was season 1, so we're talking like a 1,500-year difference.
It's
Damn,
in the
he's
museum.
long dead then.
Yeah, no, he was dead in season 2.
Alert.
You can just have it in the museum. They're next to each other. He never explained why he wants them both specifically next to each other.
I'd be more curious about the pyramid of dwarf heads he left on a table, but yeah.
That's there too.
And Kane also left a random bucket of glue next to the bar.
Why?
Okay, so that was a whole subplot. But so you're now in this city, so you can go and sift about and try and find something.
Alright, so should we roll a search check?
Yeah, or you can just go up and start talking to random people.
We did the talking last time, Candy. Your turn to start this shit.
I'm rolling for search.
Okay, roll for search. Alright. And what do you get in addition to that?
I can't tell if it's a 5 or 6. Sorry, I'm having a hard time. 5.
Do you want me to?
Alright,
do
so
you want to send me your sheet and I'll look at it?
No, it's
probably just it's the columns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Alright. So that is an unnatural 20. So here's what I'm going to say. So, and if anybody else wants to roll, you can as well.
Alright, I'm gonna look.
I will absolutely help the weird chipper girl with the pig.
Yes, the pig is very keen on getting someplace where it can eat something.
Did she not give it any cake? The giant robot doesn't see shit.
Yeah, no, the giant robot doesn't notice anything because it can't, smell or taste. You, on the other hand, come to the same conclusion. So, as you guys are walking down the street, you notice something that it's a rarity because it's a type of food that you really don't see that often, and it is an ice cream shop called the Grey Rock Creamery.
Ooh, ice cream. What the fuck was that sound?
I think somebody hiccuped.
She was squealing.
Indeed.
It was so loud that even my rabbit ears couldn't catch it. Just rubbing my ears like, what the fuck was that? Looking at the pig who's got the same problem, like, the fuck?
Why are there now dogs barking?
The hell was that?
Ice cream! Let's go!
All right.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go inside, and you walk up and look behind the counter, and there's a fair amount of people in there. Again, 90% of them are dwarfs, and there is a dwarf behind the counter. And it appears there's a bunch of open tubs of what looks like kind of various colors of ice cream. There's a grayish black looking one with like different streaks of stuff in it. There's kind of like a few tannish ones, a reddish one, um, a few like ones that are kind of brightly colored, like a purple and a green. And there's there's a dwarf behind the counter in kind of a white sort of outfit, like, your classic, like, ice cream salesman type of thing. He looks at you. Hey, what do you have for flavors?
Hmm. Do they have like a? We can read obviously the stuff. I'll take. Do we have like a chocolate type thing?
So as you look down at the different forms of ice cream, you see that they appear to be named after rocks. So there's granite, there's sandstone, there's limestone, there's jade. There's a few. They're all seem to be named after different types of stones.
Oh, this is weird.
Take a
Dwarf.
ruby.
Ah, I see that you people have never seen rock ice cream before.
Does it have actual rocks in it?
Damn straight it does.
The hell's wrong with you dwarfs?
You see, through a nice little, years and years of treating the rock, us dwarves have figured out how to turn it into this tasty, tasty treat.
As long as it's edible.
Oh yeah, 100% edible. Just don't have more than one.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna look at Candy. I'm gonna let you try this one.
Only one?
Hey, I'm sorry, it's a rule.
Hmm. What would you recommend?
I particularly like the limestone flavor. You can taste the citrusy of the lime and the grit of the stone.
That
Then I'll
is
try that.
bullshit.
You just hear that from the fucking armored suit in the back. That is bullshit. All right, so uh, he takes out a what looks like a waffle cone, and he then proceeds to pile 3 scoops of limestone ice cream, of rock ice cream, onto the top of it and gives it to you.
Do you
There
think
you
it's
go,
okay
lass.
to share with my pig?
Uh, yeah, he's probably big enough to handle it.
Thank you.
Goodbye. What'll the other two have? The man in the armored suit there, why is there a bunny?
I ask that question every day.
Bunny, what are you doing? Get out of here, Bunny.
I think she might have been into a coma.
She's
Sir,
muted.
what kind of rock ice cream would you like?
So I am going to go out on a limb of bullshit here and see if you have an igneous rock.
Hang on a quick second. Okay, so I just have to find a quick name for one. Hang on. I wasn't necessarily expecting you to ask for lava rocks. Okay. All right, I'm just going to call it lava rock. So what happens is as soon as you ask that, the dwarf behind the counter points to a particular tub that is filled with kind of a swirl of black and red.
I'm back.
Okay, you have a cold, hot shit. This is. Okay, I will have a scoop of this.
Okay. He takes out another waffle cone. He piles 2 scoops on top of the waffle cone and then hands it to you. There you go. Be careful, it might burn you a bit.
Oh, yes, I will watch out for my very human tongue to be not burned by the ice cream. What?
What
It's
did
the
I do?
miracle of nature.
I do not like you or your beard. I'm going to eat.
Okay. What does the bunny want?
Do you have anything like fruity or vegetable-like tasting?
We got rocks.
Give me whatever you recommend.
Hmm.
In case you were not listening, Rabbit Friend, earlier he said some bullshit like limestone tastes like lime, so I'm pretty sure you find anything.
I had to leave to go take care of somebody.
I said it was
Yes.
a citrusy taste, not lime.
You are bullshit and lies.
Are you even real?
Don't put him on an existential crisis. We have to deal with him.
He just. I'm going to eat my ice cream.
He walks away.
All right, so the dwarf behind the counter decides, Purity, that probably the best thing to do is to give you a couple scoops of granite.
I'll try that, yeah.
So he takes a couple scoops out of that, puts that in a waffle cone, and gives it to you.
Thank you. I guess
So
I'll...
you guys can now start eating your ice cream and seeing what it actually tastes like.
I
Is
forgot.
there
What
a
are we
place
going to
to
roll
sit
for
down
this?
nearby?
Yeah, there are a few little tables inside, or you can walk outside and just eat it outside the parlor.
I'm going to sit down.
I will stay in the parlor.
All right, so you guys can take a seat. By the way, Arch, if you sit down in a chair again, I need to have a luck roll.
Just make him sit on the floor.
Unless it's reinforced, or you can just stand.
I refuse.
He's pulling a raka. You refuse to sit or you refuse to stand?
I refuse to not be asked out by a broken chair every chance I can get.
All right, well, same damn thing happens. You sit down on the chair, and your metal ass is so heavy that it just completely breaks it. So you're gonna have to move to. You have to grab another chair and try again. Roll me again.
It's going to become musical chairs.
Yeah, it's a
I
nat
love
one.
this.
That's the next chair. That's gone. That's gone.
That should be like 2 chairs.
So because you rolled a nat one, here's what I'm gonna say. So you broke the chair, but you realize now that there aren't any chairs in the room that don't have people in them. So the next one you take, you're going to have to push the person out of it. There are children in the room.
Don't give him that choice.
Jesus. Okay. I go up to the next person and I just,
Excuse me, I need your chair.
Me? I'm sitting here.
I immediately cast Charm Person.
Okay, are you charming him to you or him to some other random thing?
I am charming him to the vat of igneous rock ice cream.
Okay, alright, so here's the way this is gonna go. I have to roll for him. If he doesn't beat a DC 15, then he's pretty much he's down there. Alright, he did not beat a DC 15, so here's what happens. You cast Charm Person on him and he immediately looks over and the lava rock ice cream is kind of in the front of the container, and he sort of walks over to it for a minute and looks at it. And after he looks at it for a second, you watch him for a minute, like wondering what he's going to do. And he waits for, he doesn't walk like 100% up to the counter. He kind of stays off a little bit like he's doing something else. As soon as the dwarf behind the counter has his back turned, he immediately grabs the tub of ice cream from the countertop and runs into the bathroom with it. You don't know what's going on in there.
Oh, we know what's going on in there.
He's getting frostbite on his penis. And also, as soon as the dwarf looks around, he's like, "Where the hell did the ice cream go?"
That guy took it. I
What
just point to the
guy?
bathroom.
The maid. She also.
All right, go ahead, Kim.
I was just saying Candy also points to the bathroom.
Okay, so he goes into the bathroom and he comes out a little while later and just kind of takes off his hat for a minute, and then he puts a chair in front of the door with a sign that says "Do not enter," and then he just goes back behind the counter.
Saw Nightmare Fuel, didn't you?
I told you could only have one, remember?
Yeah. I'm just gonna sit
There's a
down.
reason. There's a reason for that. God bless his soul.
I don't think any god's blessing that soul anymore.
Given the in-universe gods, there's probably a couple.
Yeah.
Especially the BDSM ones.
Oh, they're probably really happy right now.
Yeah. So, alright. So, are you guys now going to eat your ice cream after that whole fiasco? Oh, Art, sorry. You have to take this man's chair again and sit in it, otherwise, and see if it breaks. All you have to do is roll above a 10. Okay, 18. Alright, so his chair did the trick, so you can sit in a normal chair right now. So now you guys can eat your ice cream.
Okay, what do we roll to dissect it?
I'm going to say that for you, it's going to be knowledge food. For everybody else, it's going to be a normal intelligence check. Okay, Purity, you got, alright, yours is good. Kim, not so much. Arch, do you want to roll for this as well, or are you just going to shove it in your robot gullet and pretend you know what it is?
I was actually about to ask, can I roll bluff?
Yes.
It is food.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you didn't. You whatever you were trying to convince people of, you didn't.
This is most definitely organic substance I like to put into my stomach.
Is it burning your mouth? I'm just being an asshole to him. Is it burning your mouth?
That is an excellent question.
And he puts his finger in his mouth to test the heat.
Okay. You do that.
He pulls the finger back out and it's like really orange. He's like,
It may be a little hot in there.
Just a little.
So all right, Purity and Kim. So Kim, you rolled a 2, so you have no idea. So you got the limestone. So when you bite into it, or when you start eating it, you can tell it definitely has a creamy texture to it, like you would with normal ice cream. There's a little bit of grit, almost like the kind of grit you would have in toothpaste. But you also taste some sweetness in there. So there's been some different things that have been added to it, and it's definitely cold too. At least yours is. However, it has kind of like a citrusy taste, like a general citrusy taste to it. Not like a lemon or a lime or an orange, but just kind of like a general, like acidic, like citrusy taste. But it has so much sugar in it that it basically kind of balances that out.
It's very
So
pleasant.
it is good. And you can kind of feel it like inside of you, like you can still feel the cold.
come on, Mike. Say citrusy again.
Citrusy.
He enjoys it when you say citrusy.
Citrusy. All right. Purity, then you got the granite.
Yeah.
All right, so you take a bite out of it, and the texture is, again, very similar to what Kim experienced, where you have this ice creamy texture with some of that toothpaste grit in there. And it's definitely sweet. The flavors in this one are a bit different. It's got kind of like a dark flavor in it, which tastes a little bit like on the bitter side. And then you also have the grayish and the gray and the white speckles that are kind of all over it that have kind of a lighter flavor to it. It almost tastes like you're eating sort of like a cotton candy type thing.
Not bad.
Like I said, it does have a bit of a grit to it, though. That's the only thing that kind of makes it a bit different, but it's not like off-putting. Let's say.
I like it.
All right, well, you've tried it. It tastes good. However, you don't necessarily know what it does. Also, by the way, again, just like Kim, you can feel the cold on the inside of your body after you eat it.
Ooh. We gotta try to get the recipes. We could ask. Or we can steal it.
Well, we could try both.
Considering the last restaurant you were in, you burned it to the ground, I don't have high expectations for this.
Well, this time there's a lot of people. We're not gonna get away with that.
There were people in the other one, too. You lit them on fire or caused them to fall in love with fire.
Yeah, well, they were shaving devil's asses.
Nobody likes devils.
This is true. You want to distract them, and me and the big guy will try to get the recipes? You try asking them for it, we steal it?
I like that idea.
Okay. So there is kind of like a back room where like presumably it's like the freezer area where they store the ice cream and all the other shit in there. So Kim, you're gonna go to the counter, and then that means Arch and Purity, you guys are gonna try and sneak in the back. So we'll go with Kim first, and then we'll do you guys' roles to sneak. So Kim, you walk up to the front desk with your pig Maple, and the dwarf is behind the desk. Is, oh, hi there. What do you need?
Sorry, I'm looking at my stats real quick because I have a couple that might help me. Yes, I was wondering, have you thought about a little more of a grand presentation with your food?
Well, we've never really needed a grand, presentation. This is a family business. We've been here for, 17 generations? I don't think we've ever really needed anything else.
17 generations. Wonderful. So, does that mean these recipes have been the same for 17 generations, or have you kind of changed them over the years?
We've added new flavors, but the way we make the ice cream is the same as me great 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 to infinity grandfather used to do.
Oh, that's amazing. I've never heard of a recipe surviving that long.
We're dwarves, we don't change much over the years, just like the rock.
I like that. That's wonderful. I wish I could carry some of that type of unchangeable quality.
It's not as common as it used to be, unfortunately, especially in Greyforge with all the new people moving in since the city expanded.
Really? Does that mean some of the ways of kind of started fading?
Sort of. It's kind of like when you go to the main Calgar capital and you go into the different boroughs, the little elf village, well, they're not really elves, they're more like they're half elves, but they like to say they're elves. Uh, all those little tiny, like, ethnic areas.
As a
Well-
traveler or tourist, whatever you would like to call me, is there anything I can do to help respect and honor your traditions?
All right. So as this is happening, Purity and Arch, I want you guys to roll your move silently checks to sneak into the because now she's gotten him talking. So now you can roll your move silently checks to sneak into the back room and see if you can find anything.
Thank you.
Purity, you can roll your move silently
I
check
was
because
just
he ain't
checking
getting
my
in.
modifier.
No, I'm just saying he ain't getting in.
Yeah,
You know,
apparently I
neither of
am
you are
not
getting
either.
in. Okay, so here's what happens. So Arch, you rolled a 4. So as you kind of get up from your chair and start to move towards the back room, you're watching Kim and the dwarf talking, and you're not looking in front of you, and you smash right into a metal pole. And because Purity is trying to sneak behind you, and she's kind of paying attention to the same thing, she hits the back of your ass, and you both fall over on the ground in a heap.
Son of a bitch!
Watch out there! I don't want any more drunks in here.
Is that the guy that she was talking to?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to try and bluff him and say, oh no, they're just part of a circus, kind of an entertainment troupe, and they like to keep practicing constantly, so you'll have to forgive them.
All right, roll me a bluff check.
Oh,
You fail miserably, and he looks at you. He's like, "No, you walked in with both of them, and if they're drunk, they can leave. The last time I had a bunch of drunk dwarfs in here, we had 4 bodies to take out.
dead or alive?
Dead, very dead, completely dead.
Hmm. That couldn't have been pleasant.
No, I couldn't have. I'm waiting for the guards to pick up the guy in the bathroom.
So, can I like roll charisma to see if I can distract him again with more conversation?
Sure.
Arch, are you
'Cause I
going
have a-
invisible? Arch?
Huh?
You gonna go invisible for this one? You know, for our second attempt at not fucking up?
No, I will just try to walk into the kitchen, and if they stop me, I
Oh.
will punch them.
All right, so Kim, you rolled a nat 20, so yeah, you're able to distract him again. Very, very easily able to distract him again. So you guys can get one more roll each to try and sneak back there.
Alright.
Okay, that's better.
Damn it!
All right, so you rolled equivalently. So here's what happens. So you guys, again, you're moving through everything. So Arch, you didn't hit a pole this time, thankfully. So you guys kind of move into the side area, like near where the door is, but not quite where the counter is. The door to in back is kind of on the far end of where the counter is, away from where Kim and the dwarf are talking. So you're able to get pretty much right there. And then and you're also over near the bathrooms too, where that man unfortunately did not come out of the bathroom.
Does anyone else hear?
Uh, hmm?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Oh, you went for me, went silent after you said, right there, and then I didn't hear anything after that.
Okay, that's odd. All right, so you guys basically you're able to sneak over to the area kind of where the door is. You're over by where the bathroom doors are right now, and you also have the men's room, which is blocked off from where that guy took the lava ice cream and didn't come out. And then there's the other door, which appears to be open. The women's room is open at least. But as you guys are getting close to the door, the dwarf looks at you and says, "Hey, don't use the men's room until the guards take him out of there. If you have to, go use the women's room."
Okay.
Was that towards us?
Yes. Because he can see that you're sneaking right because you both rolled 11s. You didn't make it all the way to the door. He saw you before that, but you're standing in front of the bathroom.
So you lucked out.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm gonna give him a very slow thumbs up.
Okay, you do that. He kind of cocks an eyebrow at you weirdly.
And I'm going to very slowly sneak into the or not sneak in, but like back into the restroom with my thumb still held up.
Yes, I
Okay.
will
Are
go
you
and empty my human bowels.
are you specifically going in the women's room or the men's room? He told you not to go in the men's room, but
I'm heading to the women's room.
okay, you go into the women's bathroom. Purity, are you also going to go in there?
Yes.
All right, you both go into the women's bathroom. We'll roll a d20 to see how clean it is. This is a dwarf town. All right, it's relatively clean. You know, maybe there's like a little bit too much, garbage in the trash can, but that's about it.
Okay,
Huh.
little rabbit person, I have a plan for more bullshit.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, you remember how I made you big?
Yeah.
Well, you see, if I flip this little dongle, I mean, do the spell in reverse, I can make you small.
As long as I don't get stomped again.
I will not stomp you. You will be like 1 foot tall.
Okay. I'm good with this so far.
Okay, cool.
And I cast it on her. Reduce person.
Okay, so
I'm
she is
tiny.
reduced. So is she reduced to half her size or 1/8 her
Yeah.
size?
So it's the exact opposite of enlarge. It's 1/2 her height and 1/8 of her weight.
Okay, so that means you went from 2 feet tall and weighing 80 pounds to being 1 foot tall and weighing 10 pounds.
I'm tiny.
Okay, so you are now that small.
Yee. So what are you gonna do with me?
Well, I was going to tell you to go in. You're tiny and you're difficult to see, so you can run and sneak into the back rooms.
Can I get a little bit of a plus on my stealth then?
Yes, I'll give you an advantage for size. Get an additional +2.
Okay. Motherfucker.
Additionally, I can add a distraction.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna roll for him to see if he notices you.
Go distract him.
Nope, doesn't have to. Doesn't notice you. Totally asphyxiated with Kim asking him questions. So you sneak your way out of the bathroom, and then you manage to make your way to the rear room door and squeak your way inside very, very carefully without making him notice. Once you're in the back room, you see that there appears to be kind of several areas. There's a lot of like cabinets and stuff that are closed, and you also see that there's a freezer that is most likely where they're storing all the ice cream.
All right. I can't get it open. Damn it. I'm gonna try to get it open. I'm gonna try to jump up and get it open.
Okay. Well, you can jump pretty high because you're only 10 pounds now. So I'm going to have you roll me a strength check to try and open it since you're so light.
Oh, this is gonna go terribly. Yeah, no, that's what I was expecting.
All right, so you leap up and smack your face right on the front of the freezer door.
Son of a bitch! Ow!
You take 4 damage.
Son of a bitch. I'm healed up from the last one because we were traveling so long, right?
Yeah, you were traveling for
Okay.
a week and a half, so you're good on the rest of that.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so no. So yeah, you just kind of thump into the door and then fall back down.
Just gonna hold my head.
Arch, are you going to do anything? Or are you just going to stay in that bathroom?
I'm going to come out of the bathroom and give the thumbs up again.
Okay, you come out of the bathroom and you give a thumbs up to the guy behind the counter. He kind of, again, looks at you very strangely and then goes back to talking with Kim.
Try to sneak in here.
I'm going to very slowly try to sneak in one more time.
Roll a move silently check. Yeah, no, you fail miserably. You turn and immediately walk into the wall.
Son of a bitch!
Don't you put any holes in my wall, Tin Man. Go sit down. Otherwise, I'll kick the guards out of here.
Can I look around, search around for some kind of recipe book or anything?
You can search around for stuff back there, but before you do that, I'm gonna have this happen. So, Kim, as you're talking to the dwarf, several guards come in and come up to the counter. All right, where is he? And the dwarf behind the counter then points to the bathroom. The guards go in and proceed to be in there for a few minutes, and then after a little while, they come out with what looks like a body that's been wrapped up in towels, so people can't see it, and it appears to have. Roll me a spot check as it's going by, Arch and Kim, because you're both outside the storage area. Okay, Kim, what's added to that?
Just a 1.
Okay. So, Kim, as it goes by, you notice that it appears that there's frost developing on the blanket that's covering the body as they're bringing it outside. Arch does not notice anything.
Oh, he doesn't.
He's still staring at that wall.
Yeah, he doesn't notice anything. He rolled an 8, but you rolled a 13, so you notice that there's frost developing on that blanket.
I'm angrily describing to the wall how it's fucking up my game right now.
Well, I return my attention to the dwarf and try and politely edge the conversation into more about the process of making the ice cream.
All right. Well, making the ice cream is something that we've always loved doing here. We got fresh cream and rock and sugar and a few other things, and through our miraculous process, we're able to turn it into the tasty frozen treat that you just had.
It's really amazing.
It is.
I was curious because the coldness that I felt inside of me after eating it was just really refreshing and wonderful. And I wondered if there was a way I could replicate it at home, and on those really hot
I'm
days.
sorry, we can't give away how we make our special ice cream. We're the only ones in Greyforge that do it this way.
Really?
Yes.
So, are there other ice cream parlors here?
Yes, but they have more traditional ice cream. Ours is rock ice cream. Theirs is more, your chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry bullshit.
Huh.
If you ask me, that's just for tourists and newbies. Dwarves love having rocks inside of them.
So you said I couldn't have any more today, but say I came back tomorrow, would I be able to have more, or is that too early?
Certainly, you can come back tomorrow morning and have a different flavor if you like.
Oh, that would be wonderful. And so I noticed the citrusy taste, like you said before. Is there any that have like um more of a earthy taste?
Well, let me take a quick look in our back room and see if I got anything on the freezer that might be a bit more up your alley. Hang on a second. And he's going for the back room, so Purity, you might have to hide.
All right, so I need to do like a hide check.
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Thank God I put shit into that. Oh, can I get a... I'm tiny, so I should get a bonus.
Just get a +2.
Oh, that was almost a 20.
All right,
Damn.
I mean, that's still a 12, so here's what you do. You basically just leap into one of the milk buckets, which still has a good amount of milk still left in it, and you kind of just have to sit in there until he leaves. It's very milky.
Eh.
So he comes in the back room, and I'm going to roll to see if he notices you. Yeah, he notices you.
Oh shit.
So he looks over and he sees the milk jug kind of move around for a second, which is odd to him. So he goes over to, what the hell is going on here? He kind of shakes it for a minute. And so if you want to try and dive underneath, you can. You're just gonna have to hold your breath.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that.
All right, roll me a Constitution save to hold your breath. Oh,
Oh yes!
okay, yeah, no, you hold your breath under there. So he looks over for a second, and then after a little while, he just kind of leaves it alone. He goes to the freezer and opens it up, and he goes inside and he looks around for a minute before he grabs a specific tub of ice cream, and then leaves to go back out front for Kim. And after that's done, you can then emerge from the milk jug covered in milk. So
Covered in
Purity.
grease, covered in milk.
Mm. So the dwarf goes back out to the front, and he has a tub of ice cream, and he says, "This is something I've been working on for a little while. It's a combination of our asphalt flavor mixed with our concrete flavor.
Really? Concrete?
Yes, it's our first man-made flavor.
Oh, yes, because it's a blend of the two. I see. That's so creative.
Yes, it has a bit of a dark licoricey like flavor from the uh, the asphalt, and from the concrete, it's more of a coolish type of melony thing.
Very nice. Yeah, I would love to try that sometime if I'm allowed.
Yes, you can have some tomorrow when you come in. Just make sure you ask for it.
Thank you. I just have to say, I've had a wonderful time here, and she just decides to ramble on more, just heaping
Okay,
praises on him.
fair,
Alright.
fair enough. You can keep doing that. So, Purity, we're gonna go back to the kitchen with you, or back to the storage area.
Smallbot
So,
still just yelling at the wall.
yeah. So, roll me a spot check.
Alright. Let me see. Oh, fuck me.
You see nothing.
Yeah, apparently not. Can I try to jump up to see it? I am 2 feet.
I wasn't. It wasn't something that you had to jump to see. You would have been able to if I was gonna have you. If you couldn't have seen it from where you were, then I wouldn't have had you roll the spot
Okay.
check. All right. Well, I mean, you can try and search in there and see if you can find something. I know you were gonna do that originally.
Yep. Let's try that. Let's try it. Oh, that I
All
get a
right.
good fucking roll.
All right. So 23. So you leap up onto the counter and you start sifting through some drawers, and eventually you find a little book that on the front of it says ice cream recipes.
Okay. Sweet. Oh, my bag is tiny. Fuck.
What's up?
I'm trying to figure out how to get it out of there. I can't put it in my bag, can I?
No, you can also just read it and figure out what they're doing.
Okay, I can read it.
All right, so as you open it up, it has all the different flavors for rock ice cream. And as you're looking through it, there's kind of like a base thing. So it's like this is how you make it, and then you add different flavors to it. Uh, so a cold and creamy dairy-based treat. So you add cream, sugar, flavoring, milk. Um, well, you add cream, sugar, milk, and then to get that kind of cold consistency. Sorry, to get the consistency with the rock, basically what they do is they soften the rock using a spell that essentially lowers its density to the point where it essentially becomes a more malleable substance, almost similar to something like caramel.
Okay.
And then they add that in. Now they have something else that they say. It says freezing crystal, which is something that you haven't really seen before. That's different in addition to the rock spell. But it says crush freezing crystal and then add to mix along with flavoring.
All right. I'm gonna write all that down.
Okay. Do you want to
Anything?
check anything else in the room before you leave?
I want to look for some freezing crystals, so I'll do another search check.
Okay.
Yes! Fuck.
All right,
Found.
so because it's a freezing crystal, your logic points to it's probably in the freezer. So you open the freezer and you hop inside, and after a moment, you see that it appears all of the well, you see all the different flavors. So there's like shelves in there that all have massive gallon things of ice cream in them, of varying flavors. And then in the back of the room, there's this. It looks like a big drum, like a 50-gallon drum, and it has like a light bluish glow coming from the inside of it.
All right, I'm gonna go open it. Or is it already open?
It's already open. The glow is coming from the top, but you're too short to see into it because you're only a foot tall.
I can hop up onto the top. I've got a ridiculous jump anyway.
I'm not going to make you roll that. I'll just have you do it if you want to look inside of it.
Yep.
All right, so you hop up onto the edge and you look into it, and you see a whole assortment of bluish, light bluish crystals that are sort of just in there. It's almost like this is like just their storage. It's made to just like grab a few out of them to do whatever you want to do with. And you feel an immense amount of cold coming from the inside of the drum.
All right, can I grab a couple of the smaller ones?
You can if you want to.
Yeah, I'll grab them and put them in my bag and then hop on out.
All right, you grab the crystals. It immediately burns the living shit out of your hand.
Just gonna bite my lip and fucking take it and put it in the bag.
Okay, you put it in the bag. You're gonna take 1d8 of damage to your hand. That's a 1, not bad.
Yeah,
So,
I've had worse.
yeah. All right, so you do that.
All right, and then I'm gonna head out. Do I have to try to roll another stealth out of there or just leave?
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll another move silently check out of there because if he sees you leave the door, he's gonna be questionable unless you want to just book it out of the building.
Is there a window nearby?
No.
Fuck, of course not. Is there like a back door or anything?
No. Fire codes don't exist in Grateful.
Yeah, no,
right,
I'm just fucking breezing it on out of there.
All right, so you grab your stuff and you get the hell out of Dodge. Are you gonna tell the other guys that you're all good?
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna go up to Arch and tell him because Kim is still in her distraction phase, and you rolled high enough where even she doesn't notice you leave the room. So you go back up to Arch and kind of explain to him what you have done.
Hey, buddy. I'm gonna like tap him. Hey.
Oh my god, this restaurant has rodents. Oh, it's you. Hello.
I got the stuff. We can go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Can you make
And
it
I-
bigger?
I do not know. Let's find out.
Oh, better question. Does the spell wear off after a while?
Yes, probably.
Then pick
Yeah,
my
after
ass
a
up
while.
and just carry me.
Why would I only carry your ass? It is much better to carry your full person.
Yes, absolutely. Just pick me up, please.
I pick her up in one hand.
I'm just sitting there.
Okay,
comfy.
and are you just gonna walk out?
I'm gonna like walk straight towards Kim, and as they're having the conversation, I just take her by the shoulders and wheel her out, not acknowledging the guy.
Okay.
Are you still mad at it? Is it because you're still mad at his wall?
Yes, this wall is bullshit.
Okay, so you do that, and you grab Kim, and you guys walk out. The dwarf behind the counter is very confused, but he thought Kim was lovely.
Yeah, she waves like, bye.
All right, so now you have the recipe, and you have the ingredients, which the crystals might explain the whole only having one.
I got everything we need. We don't have to burn this place to the ground. They're not doing anything fishy.
You
I
say
would hope
that like
not.
it is not a joy to just do it, but okay.
No, we're not gonna burn them to the ground.
If I am in the minority on the burning of people, then I shall acquiesce at this time.
Next time
Yes,
we
he was
find
very
messed up
nice.
people. I'm glad you had a nice combo. I'm gonna hold up my frostbitten hand. This sucks! Why am I the only one getting hurt on this one? Someone heal me.
I do not heal things.
I have a healing spell. One moment.
Thank you.
So it's cure moderate wounds. She
That'll be
does it.
perfect.
It's 2d8 plus my level.
Okay, yeah, it would be plus your so it would be +5.
How do you select 2?
That's
Okay,
more than
so-
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, yeah. So you heal her little frostbitten bunny hands.
Oh, thank you.
Well, and the damage to her face.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Like, that's more than enough. Now I'm fully healed again.
Okay. So you guys are able to get out. So you now have the recipe for rock ice cream, and you also have the secret ingredient, which is the freezing crystals.
Man, the queen's gonna love this. And if she doesn't, we'll just let our robot guy do what he does.
Oh,
And
who is the robot guy?
I'm sorry, the Humie guy.
Oh, you mean me?
Yes, you.
Yes, I am a very natural and normal human.
I know your secret.
Shut up, you little rodent, or I will eat you alive.
I will take you apart. And I won't tell you who your dad is.
I'm gonna run over to Kim's character.
She is being mean to me.
He's still carrying me, which makes it funnier.
This is true.
I want to roll diplomacy.
Okay.
So, first she's going to say, now, we're all on the same team here. It's best that we get along, even if we're different in different ways. We can trust each other.
I trust him as long as he doesn't try to throw me.
And I have a +8 on that.
All right. So that means, does anybody have the ability to beat a 24 in diplomacy?
Oh, let me check.
No.
I could
Then
try.
you can roll. The only way you'd be able to beat her is if you had a nat 20.
Yeah, that is the only way I'm literally going to be able to do it. Oh, or I can do that. 25.
You also have a +8 to that?
Yeah, in diplomacy, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then what is your arguing point, or do you just not believe her?
I don't really care. I'm just doing it because
Okay.
I can.
Okay, fair enough.
You make sure he doesn't throw me, and we'll get along fine.
I think what she's saying is very reasonable.
I think what she is saying is bullshit because she is small and throwable.
Well, at least ask me before you throw me.
Fine.
Thank you.
Small person, may I please throw you at that tree?
No.
See, this is no fun.
Why do you even want to throw me at a tree?
Do you not?
No, I don't want to go into a tree. Not unless it has apples and stuff.
Well, how do you know?
See? And I cock my arm back to throw her.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on to his fingers for dear life.
All right, you're gonna have to roll so. Arch, I'm gonna have you roll a strength check, and Purity, you're gonna roll a strength check against him to see if you can hang
Oh,
on
I
to
am
his
not
arm when he
winning
throw
this.
you.
You know that.
Why? He has a horrible strength, and every time I've
Yeah.
had him roll it, he rolls like shit.
Remember, I was held down by an octave. Oh.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Fuck.
he still has
Can I
to
try a
roll. There's a
jump check?
chance he might not.
He's not getting the nat one.
Nope, he beat it. Okay. Yeah, you're flying. What are you aiming for again, Arch?
The tree?
A tree. She said, I don't know if it's an apple, so I aimed it as high as I could into the tree.
Okay.
Oh, okay, not at,
I'm
like,
gonna do a luck roll and see if you hit anything or if you have a chance to recover here. That's an 8, so I'm gonna say you're not gonna recover. You're gonna hit something, so it's gonna be 1d8 damage.
Just be an apple already.
That's 6 damage. So you fly into the tree, and unfortunately, even though well, actually, because you hit some stuff on the way in, I'll give you a break. It's an apple tree. You can get apples.
I'm gonna land in there and just start grabbing apples. And you just hear me yell,
Okay.
fuck you, that's not the point!
Did you find apples?
I refuse to answer that!
Do you see what I mean? She is so belligerent.
I'm gonna toss an
Well-
apple to Kim, not at Kim. To Kim.
Oh,
Okay,
No, I
you
wasn't
toss
going
Kim
to
an
hit you
apple.
with it.
Okay, you toss her an apple.
am I able to catch it?
Roll dex.
Oh, if you don't get it, the pig is.
And your dex is
0.
yeah, it falls on the ground and the pig walks up and eats it.
Did you catch it?
No, but Maple did.
Well, at least somebody enjoyed it. I'm gonna hop down.
Okay, so that happened. I think given the fact it's already midnight, I think we can probably call this here.
Sounds good.
This was retarded.
Yeah.
This was perfect.
This,
It only
is
gets
what
dumber
happens.
from here.
He's going to keep throwing me at everything he can find now.
yes, correct.
I didn't say I actually had a problem with it.
I mean, wasn't there a session where someone kept throwing me?
It was
Yeah, it was
what's
Ari in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, okay. I wasn't here for those.
He wasn't there for that, yeah. But you wanted
I
to be
kept-
thrown.
Not at first.
Oh, yeah, was it Cham that was doing it? Or,
remember.
Steven?
You'll have to toss me.
No,
He's
it was
really whipping
definitely Cham.
It was
The
Jam
ending
Bugger.
of that, what Steven did to him, was hysterical. We need to continue that because that part was so funny.
Yeah, I missed that campaign too. So that was fun.
We will play again eventually.